So hi everyone, my name's Justin and I'm the president of the UVA Entertainment Club of LA. And on behalf of my fellow Southern California club leaders, thanks for joining us today. As you may know, your instructor today, Julie, is the president of the UVA Club of Orange County. She resides in Newport Beach with her fellow Who husband, Todd, Who twins, Robert and Hannah, and hopefully soon to be Who son, Colin. Julie's been teaching yoga for 10 years, practicing yoga for 20 years, and has a background in gymnastics and cheerleading at UVA. She's also currently completing the Pilates Certification Program at Orange Coast College. She credits yoga for not only helping her build a stronger body, but also helping her experience increased mental clarity and mindfulness. And at a time when the world has never been weirder, we're so glad to have her sharing her talents with us. So without further ado, I give you Julie Leigh.
Thank you, Justin. I appreciate that. Thank you. So great to have you guys join me today. I really appreciate you making the time. And I know that I have some experienced yogis with me today and some beginner yogis. So just know that I'll be teaching an all levels class. So I'll be teaching different variations for things. And feel free to take whatever feels good, whatever option feels good for your body today. If you have any injuries, I'll try to address, if your knee bothers you, different things that you can do there. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me, and I can give you an option. So let's go ahead and start. We're going to start in child's pose. So big toes together, knees wide, and you're going to walk your hands out and take your forehead to the mat. Okay. Close your eyes if they're not already closed, and just give yourself a moment to transition onto your mat. Slow your breath. And if you can, try to inhale and exhale just through your nose. You don't have to, but that's going to just help you to get fuller breath. It slows you down, and it helps you to oxygenate the body a little bit better because you get deeper inhales and exhales. Okay, let's take one more inhale, one more exhale. On your next inhale, slowly roll up. Articulate through your spine, come on up to all fours. So knees are parallel, hips are stacked right on top of your knees, and shoulders are right over your wrists. Let's go ahead and take a couple cat-cows. So inhale, pull your heart forward, tailbone is to the sky. And exhale, slowly round. Pull the belly button up into the spine for cat. And again, inhale forward, start the spinal articulation at the base of your spine, at your sacrum. And now exhale, tuck the tailbone down, come into your cat. Let's take one more. Inhale, heart comes forward. And exhale, come into your cat. Okay, we're going to inhale, come into a neutral spine, and now we're going to warm up our wrists a little bit. So slowly just start to lean forward a little bit, rock it back. Fingers are spread wide. We do a lot of things on our hands and on our wrists, so we want to make sure that we're really warming those wrists up well. Okay, let's medially rotate the hands. So fingers are in, and you're just going to rock a little bit from side to side. Okay, laterally rotate the hands. Okay, fingers are back towards the knees now, and press the heels of your palms down and just lean back as much as you can. Get that nice forearm stretch. Okay, bring them back around, fingers face the front. Let's turn one hand over and make a fist. If you can, try to straighten out that arm that's making the fist. And let's switch. Make a fist. And slowly release. Now, with your right hand, you're just going to lift the palm up and bring it down. Palm comes up, fingers stay down. Let's do 3 more. And let's do the left hand. So just the palm, bring it up. 2 more. Okay, let's sit back on our toes. So tuck your toes under and sit back. You should be getting a big stretch in your feet. So just do what can work for you. If you have a block, you can always put a block under or a cushion underneath your glutes here. Okay, let's inhale, reach our arms high. And exhale, take the hands behind and walk your fingers over to your elbows. Sit up nice and tall and draw the rib cage in. And slowly release. Let's roll the shoulders. And now roll them forward. Inhale, reach high. And okay, the other hand is on top now. So really walk your hands over. This is going to be the one that feels weird to you because you're not used to grabbing in this way. Nice and tall, rib cage is knitted in. One more breath cycle right here. And slowly release. A couple more of those shoulder rolls, backwards and then forwards. And then go ahead and come down onto your knees. I'm going to turn this way so you can see me. And anchor your right hand. I'm always going to try to mirror you. So anchor your right hand. Take your left hand across. Grab that rounded bulge, that occipital ridge in the back of your head. And go ahead and gently draw your head off to the side. You're getting a nice stretch in your neck muscle. Draw your right shoulder down away from your ears. And slowly release. Let's switch sides. So anchor your left hand. Get that nice stretch. Draw your left shoulder down and away. And now bring the other hand up. Tuck your chin down and just get a nice stretch in the back of your neck. Keep the hands up. Just gently slide the hands a little bit down under that ridge and let's look up, just supporting the head. And slowly release. Okay, let's come back to that tabletop position. Just a nice little warm up. I always joke around that the older I get, it's like I have a warm up to my warm up now. So, okay, so here we are. We're in our quadruped, our tabletop position. So I want you to try to stay as stable as you can. You're not going to be rocking from side to side. So really engage your core. Start to put a little bit more weight in your left hand. And you're just going to slide the right hand forward and back, forward and back, staying as stable as you can. Forward and back. Okay, now let's shift the weight a little bit into the right hand and slide the left hand forward and back. Strong core, strong right arm. And one more time, forward and back. Take it slow. Now we're going to do the right leg. So just draw the right leg back and bring it back. Extend it and bring it in. Extend it and bring it in. Left leg. Take it back, draw it in. Extend, draw it in. Strong core. We're not letting the hips shift. And bring it back in. Okay, now we're gonna take our left leg and our right hand. So extend the leg, extend the arm, and now let's lift it up and drop it down. Exhale and inhale, exhale and inhale. Okay, let's exhale, bring it up, and now bring it into your core in this little crunch. Inhale, extend, exhale, bring it in. Inhale, last time, exhale, bring it in. Inhale, and exhale to drop everything down. Okay, left arm and right leg, we're gonna slide them out. Let's bring them up and drop it down. Take it up, drop it down. Exhale, take it up, drop it down, and here we are at the top. Inhale here, exhale, crunch. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Extend it out and now release it down. Okay, let's walk our hands out and we're gonna come into an extended puppy dog position. You can have your forehead on the mat, or if you're pretty open and you wanna look forward and have your chin on the mat, you can do that as well. We're letting our tailbone come up to the sky and our heart come forward as much as we can. If it's too much for your spine to look forward, just have your forehead down on the mat. Okay, now let's come up a little bit. Now you're gonna come onto your fingertips. Pull your belly and your rib cage up. Walk your knees back just a little bit more. Now drop down, head and neck are in line with the arms. We're not dropping the head down, we're not crunching it up. And you're still continuing to draw your belly and your rib cage up. The purpose of this is try to get a little bit more stretch just in the shoulders. We're trying to isolate the shoulders. Let's take one more breath cycle here. And slowly release. Okay, let's walk the knees in, tuck the toes. Take an inhale here, strong arms, and exhale, lift the hips. Come into your downward facing dog. Feet are hip distance, hands are shoulder distance. Push your upper body a little closer to your thighs. And if it feels good, you can pedal it out. You can walk your dog out. Sometimes you'll hear this called prancing or treading. And now let's find a little bit of stillness in the dog. You're still lifting your tailbone to the sky. Down dog is all about finding length in the spine. So let's all put a little bit of a bend in our knees and now really over exaggerate the tailbone coming up to the sky. Keep that same feeling in your back and in your tailbone and in your hips, and then try to straighten the legs out a little bit more. Depending upon how tight your hamstrings are, how tight your back is, you may have to just keep a little bit of a bend in your knees to keep that length in your spine. Okay, let's inhale, look to our hands. Exhale, come up onto your tippy toes and slowly tippy toe walk all the way up to behind your wrist. Put a little micro bend in the knees, relax your head and neck, and let's grab opposite elbows and come into Ragdoll Uttanasana. So keep the weight in the balls of your feet and just rock a little bit from side to side. Feel the stretch in the hamstrings and in the spine. See if you can get a little longer in your torso. Switch the cross of the hands. Bring the weight into your toes, bring it into your heels. And now see if you can find some stillness here. Get longer in the spine, get heavier in your upper body. And now start to press a little bit more firmly into the outer edges of your feet and feel how that really intensifies the hamstring stretch. See if you can come a little bit more into the balls of your feet. Make sure you're not cranking your neck, just a relaxed head and neck. Let's take one more breath cycle here. And slowly release. Hands come to the floor. Heel toe your feet together. And then slowly on your inhale, engage your core, slowly articulate, roll it all the way up. Take your arms high to the sky. And now your hands are going to come to your heart center. So you should be at the top of your mat. And we're just going to start to flow a little bit, do some sun salutes. So sun salutations, A. Inhale, reach your arms high. Touch your palms, looking up. Exhale, dive forward. Little tiny micro bend in the knees. You're pulling your upper body closer to your thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana. Fingertips can either be on the floor or on your shins. Pull your heart forward and your shoulders back. Back should be flat. If you were the base of a pyramid, somebody should be able to stand on your flat back. Okay, let's exhale, step back, high plank. Strong core. Shoulders are right on top of the wrist. Spread your fingers wide. Make sure your bum isn't sticking up. You're just one long line. Let's take one more inhale here. On your exhale, come onto your knees, relax your feet. You're gonna slowly lower down. Come into knees, chest, chin. So this is a great heart opener, a great spinal articulation exercise. Your bum is just kind of up to the sky and arms are close into your body. I know it feels a little awkward at first if you haven't done this. Okay, let's inhale, come forward into a little baby cobra. So gaze is kind of forward and down. Keep the back of your neck long. And really pull your belly button away from the floor and get as long as you can from your tailbone through the crown of your head. And you're just kind of light on your hands. In fact, let's all lift our hands and our feet. Keep pulling your belly button away from the floor. Locust or Salabhasana. Let's see if we can inhale a little bit higher. On your exhale, bring your knees down, bring your hands down. Strong core, exhale to your knees and tuck your toes. Come into your downward facing dog. Breathing here. On your next inhale, look to your hands. On your exhale, step, float, or tippy toe walk all the way up to your hands. Inhale, find that halfway lift with the heart forward and the straight spine, shoulders back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly start rolling it all the way up. Articulate through the spine. Let's take our arms high. And exhale, hands come to the heart. Let's inhale again. Take the arms high. Touch palms, look up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to your high plank again. Now, feel free to stay with that knees, chest, chin variation. It's a great variation, especially if you're tight in your spine. Or you can inhale here. Exhale, come onto your knees. Let's drop into chaturanga on our knees. Arms are close into the side body, and you're not dropping your shoulders below your elbows, okay? So broaden across your collarbone. Arms are tucked right against your body. Inhale, come into a high cobra. So thighs are still reaching towards the ground. Push away from the ground. Let's take one more inhale. And exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Let's take one more breath cycle right here in our down dog. On your next inhale, look to the top of your mat. Bottom of the exhale, step, float, or tippy toe walk. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, that halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, round the spine. Engage the core, come all the way up. Arms come high. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Let's go again. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, Uttanasana. Use your hands to gently guide your body closer to your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank. Again, feel free to take knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga on your knees. If you felt good in the last one and you want to take the full chaturanga, you can inhale slightly with the shoulders. Exhale, chaturanga, so knees are off the ground. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Up dog is the same as cobra, but your thighs are strong and off the ground. Let's take one more inhale here. Pull the heart forward, shoulders back, and exhale. Come into your downward facing dog. Breathe here. Keep breathing. Just checking in with you. Yes, if you need a water break, my kids are telling me they need a water break. If you need a water break, take a water break. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of core, guys. But first, let's inhale and raise our right leg, open up the hip. I bend my knee and I try to stack my right hip on top of my left. And I'm trying to square my shoulders as much as I can. So I'm not letting my left shoulder want to dip down, but I'm trying not to let it. I'm kind of puffing up underneath my left armpit. One more inhale. And exhale, release that right leg down. Inhale, lift the left leg, bend the knee, open up. And again, try to puff up underneath your right armpit this time. Press your right heel closer to the floor. One more inhale. And exhale, release it down. Okay, Let's inhale up onto our tippy toes. And on your exhale, just slowly just walk your way through. And you're going to go ahead and come down and all the way through into a seated position. Okay. Hands can come underneath your legs here and glue your feet together. Sit up nice and tall. Imagine that there's a string on your sternum and it's pulling you up so that you have a nice straight spine. Now you can keep holding on here, or you can take your arms out to the sides. If you're really feeling gung-ho this morning and you want to really go for it, you can straighten out your legs, okay? We're breathing here. Oh yeah, the kids are going for the full variation. Good job. Glue those legs together. Let's take one more breath cycle here. Nice. Okay, you can release your legs down. Okay, I'm going to turn to the side on this one so you can see me from, you guys can stay that way, but I'm going to come so that you can see me straight on. Okay, we're going to come up with our legs in tabletop again, and you're going to bring your hands behind you, just like I am here. Okay? Now, let your legs come off to your right. I'm trying to mirror you. So come off to your right, okay? And then slowly lower back and come on up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's do two more. And exhale. Last one. And come on up. And let's go through the center. So we're working our obliques here. Okay. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. 3 more times. Stay really twisted. And last time, come on back to the center. Let's find that Navasana, whatever variation works for you. Come into your boat pose. And let's hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, bend the legs. Now hold on here, but drop the shoulders down away from your ears. Start to find a little C curve in the low spine, and with control, come on down so that you're on your back. Now, your legs are in a tabletop, and you're going to try not to let the knees come past your hips. So imagine that there's a brick wall here, because then your low core, your low abs are going to work even more. So find a nice little tabletop here. Let's take our arms up to the sky. Inhale here and exhale. Come on up and reach. Inhale down and exhale, reach. One more time. And exhale, reach. Bring it on down. Now you can stay here in the tabletop, or if you want to take your legs up to 90, you can do that. Inhale here and exhale, curl it up. Inhale, take it nice and slow, and exhale. One more time here, inhale and exhale. Inhale, okay, now legs can stay here, or if you want, you can bring your legs to more of a like angle here, okay, like, I don't know, 70, whatever that is. Okay, inhale here and exhale, bring up your chest, hold it here. Bring your arms over your head and exhale, arms come around, you stay up. Inhale and exhale, round the tabletop. Inhale and exhale. We can do a couple more. If this gets too much, you can come back to legs just staying in tabletop. You can also have your upper body down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Stay lifted the whole time. Inhale and exhale and slowly lower down. Okay, hug your knees and rock a little bit from side to side. Just waking up that core. Okay, we're gonna do a couple forward rock and rolls. So we're just gonna hug the knees in and just find a little bit of a rock and roll. On your 3rd rock forward, go ahead and just come to your feet, plant your hands, and step it back, come into your downward facing dog. One breath cycle here. On your next inhale, look to your hands. On your exhale, step or float to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, now let's come into a chair pose, Utkatasana. So your legs can be hip distance as you drop down, or you can have your big toes together and heels slightly apart. I personally like to have my big toes together and heels slightly apart because I can hug my knees together. Now you really want to lift your heart. Palms are reaching up, palms are facing in. Bring your weight more into your heels and see if you can lift all 10 toes. Can you lift your heart a little more? Okay, let's bring our hands to our heart center here, and we're just going to do 5 little pulses for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. Can you lift all 10 toes? One more inhale, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands and heel toe your feet apart and come into a deep squat. I'm going to face you. So we're here in Malasana. Sometimes you'll hear this called garland pose. And you're using your elbows to press gently into your inner knees. And you really want to try to sit up tall. So you're dropping your tailbone down, sitting up tall. I always like to imagine that I have a book on top of my head and I'm trying to balance it there. If you have a hard time getting your feet flat, try widening your stance a little bit. If you have a cushion or some blocks, you can also sit on those. Okay, now take your right arm. I'm going to mirror you. Your right arm to the inside, your left arm high. And you're gently pressing into that right arm to get length in your spine. You can stay right here, or if you want to take a wrap and a bind variation, you can do that. And I'm reaching and I'm grabbing a hold of my hand, okay? And the whole time, I'm trying to balance out my weight and I'm trying to pull my heart forward, find length in my spine. The straighter my spine can be, the more rotation I'm gonna be able to find. Take one more breath cycle here. And then slowly release, come to the center. Let's do the other side. Your left arm goes in front, right arm goes high. Gently push into that left leg to get more length. If you did the bind on the other side and you want to take it on this side, you should be even. Take it on both sides. Try to balance out where the weight is. Let's take one more breath cycle. And slowly release. Okay, options here. You can either take a crow prep pose, which is all about finding the flexibility, or you can actually come into your crow pose. So for crow, we're placing our hands shoulder distance apart, fingers spread wide. I'm really working to get my knees as high up into my armpits as I can. And this is important. I'm looking forward because my head weighs a lot. It's going to balance out the booty. Okay, now you can just play around with this crow prep pose and finding this position. Maybe you bring one foot up and then you release. Maybe you bring the other up. Okay, if you want to float it, you can. If you're coming up, big toes come together and your heels come up high, really high into your butt, so you get into this nice tiny little ball. Don't worry if you're a little bit kind of froggy, tripoddy right now. I think I was pretty froggy for a number of years before I started to get the flexibility that I could get into a tighter ball. Okay, so from either your crow or from your deep squat, you're either going to step it back and go through your vinyasa of choice, or you can float it back. And you don't have to float it from your crow. You can float it from just a tiny little controlled jump. And always being careful never to drop your shoulders below the level of your elbows. Breathe here in your down dog. Reconnect with your breath. So our shoulders are our most unstable joint in the body. So it's important that if you don't quite have the strength yet in your chaturanga, that you keep the shoulder above the elbow height. Okay, let's inhale our right leg just to hip height. And exhale, bring your right foot through in between your hands and drop your left knee down. Come up onto your fingertips and pull your heart forward. You're gonna feel a big stretch in your left quad, left hip flexor. Get as long as you can in the spine. Draw your right hip back, left hip forward. Okay, let's tuck the left toe, if the left toe's not already tucked, and slowly come up into like this long kind of pyramid posture. I have a little tiny micro bend in my right knee. Okay, let's inhale, come on down again. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale, drop it down. One more time. Exhale. And inhale, release the left toes. Now ground your left arm down and really press into your left arm so that the eye of your elbow is facing forward. Inhale, pull your heart forward. Right hand is on the outer right knee. And on your exhale, slowly start to twist off to your right. Okay? Draw your right shoulder down away from your ears. You're feeling a huge stretch in your left quad, left hip flexor. Now let's reach the right arm forward and take it around. And you're just gonna take that right hand into your left hip flexor. And stay right here if this feels really good for you. It's a big heart opener, nice little spinal twist. You're still getting that quad and hip flexor stretch. If you wanna go a little deeper and get even more of a quadricep stretch, you can bend this left leg and reach and grab. So a lot of times what I like to do is I like to come out of it for a second and really pull this left heel into my glute because I've got really super tight quads and hip flexors. I pretty much have super tight everything. And then as I start to feel more open, then I can drop down. And I even like to let my right knee come off to the side and I'm on the edge of my right foot. And then I start to find even more of a spinal twist. And you can really press your left foot into your right hand for even more quad and hip flexor stretch. Let's take one more breath cycle. Here comes my dog. And slowly release the leg if you're there. Okay, we're gonna frame this right foot. Now with control, tuck your left toes, with control, you're gonna step back and come into a side plank. Now option here, you can always come onto your left knee, okay? So left knee, or you're here. And your feet can be stacked, or if that's a little too much, you can kind of cross your legs here. Okay, so breathing here, pulling this left side body away from the floor. Okay, let's take the right arm over the head. Let's lift the right leg. Inhale here, exhale, crunch. Inhale, exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale, lengthen it here. Now take your gaze to your left hand. Bend the right leg and with control, come back to your low lunge. See if you can float this right foot and come up with super duper control. Drop down onto the left knee. Inhale, reach your arms high. Look at your palms, touch your palms together. Let's exhale, find a little heart expansion. So we're pinching the shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach. Exhale, frame your right foot, tuck your back toes, and take your vinyasa. Push the floor away. Option for those of you who want a challenge to take a single-legged chaturanga. Inhale up, and exhale. Come into your downward facing dog. Breathe here, reconnect with your breath. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna switch sides so you guys can see better. Okay, inhale, left leg, hip height. Exhale, bring your left foot in between your hands. Drop the right knee down. Let's inhale, pull our heart forward. Feel that nice stretch in the right quad and right hip flexor this time. Pull the left hip back, right hip forward. Now let's tuck the back toes. Exhale, straighten the legs, just a tiny microbend in the left knee. And inhale, come forward. Exhale, and inhale. One last time. Exhale, and inhale. Okay, tuck the back, or let the back foot relax. Really ground that right hand down. Let the eye of the elbow spin forward. You're feeling a huge grounding in the right shoulder girdle. Inhale, pull the heart forward, lengthen the spine. On the exhale, twist from the lumbar spine, then the mid-thoracic, and lastly, looking off over your left shoulder. Let's take the left arm long, reach, 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 and take it around into the right hip flexor. If you want to add a little bit more with the right quad and hip flexor stretch, you can bend that back leg. Again, I like to come up out of it a smidge, more to like a 90 degree with this front leg. Let my my right quad and hip flexor relax a little bit, get that stretch. And then as it starts to relax and open up, then I drop down. And then I start adding a little bit more of that spinal rotation. And it feels good for my body to let my knee come off to the side. Do what feels good for you. Maybe you can press the foot into the hand a little bit more firmly. Let's take one more breath cycle here. And slowly release. Frame your left foot, tuck the back toes. Take your choice of vinyasa. Watch the depth of the shoulders. Inhale, little back bend. And exhale. Come into your downward facing dog. Breathe here. Oh yeah, thank you. My husband reminded me, we can't forget the side plank. That would be terrible. The whole rest of the day we'd be like, why am I out of whack? I'm not really sure why. Okay, come back into your high plank. Let's go ahead and come into your side plank. And again, feel free to take that option with the right leg, okay? And you can also have the legs crossed. But if you want to challenge yourself, your feet are going to be stacked. Okay, nice work here. Let's take the left arm overhead, stretch long. Inhale here. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lengthen it. Take your gaze to the floor. Bend the left knee and with control, try to hover this left foot and then come down. Drop the right knee down. Inhale, reach high, touch the palms. Exhale, open up. Inhale, reach. And exhale. You can do a vinyasa. You can always go straight to downward facing dog as well. Listen to your body. Breathe here. And let's actually bring our knees down, big toes together. Come into your child's pose for just a moment. Reconnect with your breath. Take a sip of water if you need to. Okay. Slowly come on up. We're going to do a posture called dolphin pose, which I find is really awesome for opening up the backs of your legs and your shoulders. You're going to take your arms parallel, and they're just shoulder distance. You're making sure that the elbows aren't splaying out, okay? So we're pressing. We're not letting our face come towards the floor. We're really pushing the floor away. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, walk your feet in. Breathe here. You can stay right here. Option to take it a little bit more challenging by raising the right leg and breathing there for 3 to 5 breath cycles, and then switching and coming off to the other side for 3 to 5 breath cycles. Keep breathing, keep pushing your face farther away from the floor. Once you've done both sides, go ahead and come on down, and we're going to come into embryo pose, which is just a narrow child's pose. I like this posture after dolphin because it relaxes my shoulders. Palms are up by your feet. Take one more breath cycle here. And when you're ready, slowly roll up. Plant your hands, tuck your toes, come into your downward facing dog. Okay, let's inhale, right leg, hip height. Exhale, bring your right foot in between your hands. Stay on your left toes, and let's inhale and come up. And just bring your hands to your hips for right now. So I'm gonna face you for a second. So we're trying to get the right knee over the right ankles. Press firmly through your left heel and see if you can drop down a little bit more. See if you can straighten out the left leg. You're gonna be on your left toes if you can. So we're not warrior one, we're in a crescent lunge. Okay, let's inhale, reach the arms high. You're going for length in the spine, but try not to let the ribs flare out. Okay, let's take the left arm under the right and take it around in a bind. Ideally, you're gonna get the hand all the way around, but if it's only a little bit, that's fine too. Option to just reach and grab the shoulders too if you're super tight in your shoulders. Oh. Okay, now let's take our eagle. This is called eagle, Garadasana. Eagle arms high. We're looking up. Keep pressing through your left heel to find that length and that lift on the front portion of your left leg. Keep dropping down on the right leg. Now take the elbows down. Take your gaze forward again. With control, step forward. Find a one-legged Tadasana. And now wrap the left leg around the right. And again, we're working to find a bind with both, like it's like a double bind, but if you're only a single bind, that's fine. Just make sure it's nice and tight. See if you can drop down. Option 2, tap the elbows and then come on back up. Keep the arms down, unwind the legs, find the balance. Now slowly start to hinge back. Come into warrior 3 with bound eagle arms. Spin, you can see how I'm going to help my daughter. You're going to spin your inner left thigh up to the sky so that this left hip isn't cocking up. So keep spinning. Yes, good. Nice. Okay, and if you fall out, who cares? Come on back in. Let's unwind the arms. Let them fly back. I keep just a little tiny micro bend in my right knee. Now go ahead and take your fingertips to the floor, okay? Inhale here. Exhale, crunch and bend. I'm trying to get my left knee high up into my left armpit. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, crunch it in. Try not to use momentum, just your strong core. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, crunch. And inhale, take it back. Okay, this time let's take a standing split. Walk your hands closer in to your leg. Don't worry about how high the left leg gets, okay? Just try to walk your upper body closer to your standing leg. Option to take one or both hands to the standing leg for a balancing posture. Some of you guys, I know I've got some former cheerleaders and gymnasts here. If you wanted to take it up into a handstand here, you could do that. If you just want to hang out in your standing split and really feel that right leg, you can do that too. Let's take one more breath cycle here. When you're ready, let's walk the hands out in front. Inhale, halfway lift. Now exhale, slowly bring the left leg through and try to bring it all the way through and then come down into a seated position. I'm going to face you now. Okay, so your right leg is bent up close into your sit bones. Okay, take your left hand to your right ankle. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, use your left arm to let yourself come forward. You're trying to be as flat as you can in the spine. Get this arm and the shoulder in front of this right leg. Internally rotate your right arm and wrap it around. See if you can grab a hold and clasp onto your other hand. If you can't do that, no worries. You can always use a strap. You can use a towel. You can just be hanging out here and just working to get some more. This is a lot. This is hamstring flexibility. This is shoulder flexibility. This is spinal flexibility, okay? This is called Marichyasana A. Take your left toes and flex them back towards your face. So dorsiflex that left foot back towards your face. And keep your gaze long and look forward, kind of like forward and down. Getting as long as you can in that spine. Let's take one more breath cycle here. And slowly release. Take the leg out in front, shake it on out. Okay, take your legs just into a cross-legged position and roll forward. You can step it back and vinyasa. Again, always an option to go straight into your downward facing dog. Okay, so thank goodness we only have two sides. You just have one more side to do. So inhale your left leg, hip height. Exhale, bring the left foot forward. And inhale, slowly come on up to your high crescent lunge on the other side, okay? Press firmly through your right heel so that you have this nice stretch in your right quad and your right hip flexor. Okay, inhale, reach high. This time in your eagle pose, your right arm is coming underneath. Start to lift the elbows high. Start to take the gaze high to the sky. Keep dropping down in that front leg. Keep pulling up. on the right quad. Good. Okay. With control, take the gaze and the elbows back towards the front of the room. Let's step up onto the left leg. Take the right leg and bind it around. Drop down. Notice if your hips get all askew. Gently draw them more square to the front of your mat. Keep the arms bound. See if you can tap and come on back. Good. Keep breathing. Keep the arms bound. Now let's slowly unwind the leg and hinge back. Come into your warrior three. So take this in stages. Address the leg first. Spin the inner thigh of the right leg up to the sky. I know. Just go ahead and come on back in if you fell out. You're going to spin. She says I'm messing her up. Okay, I'll ignore her. Spin the inner right thigh up to the ceiling so that your hips are not, you want to make them level. Okay. Now let's unwind the arms. Let them fly back. Again, pay attention to what's happening with this right hip. Good. And slowly bring your arms down to the floor. Okay. Let's exhale, draw the right knee in, bend and crunch. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, crunch. Inhale. Last time. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, take it back. And now come into your standing split. And again, it's all about getting your upper body closer to that standing leg. If you're super flexible, maybe that leg is going past hip height, but don't worry about that. Let's take one more breath cycle. If you were doing your handstands on the other side, you can do that, my handstandy people. Okay, let's inhale, halfway lift, and exhale. Thread the right leg, come all the way through. We're gonna take that Marichiasana A again. Okay, right hand goes to your right ankle. Inhale, reach high. Dorsiflex your right toes back towards your face. Exhale, lean forward. Use this other hand to help you. And now spin and grab. Or maybe it's out here and you're just working to get your shoulder in front. Gaze is long, spine is as long as you can get it. Broaden across your collarbones. Oh, thanks, honey. Let's take one more breath cycle here. And slowly release. And shake it out. Come into a cross-legged position again. Other leg in front. And roll forward. Step it back or float it back. Your choice. You don't even have to go through vinyasa. You can go straight to your down dog. Breathing here. Okay. Let's inhale our right leg high to the sky, bend the knee, open up. And now exhale, bring your right knee to the floor right behind your right wrist. Okay, for pigeon pose. And walk your hands back. Option to float the hands. I call this gravity pigeon. We're really working to get into the right IT band and right glute, working to get as close as we can with this right glute to the floor. You can always put a towel or a block underneath your glute here. And now go ahead and relax forward. Breathe here. Now you should never feel this in your right knee or your right ankle. If you're feeling it there, gently just bring the foot closer into your groin, okay? A lot of times we'll see that leg like way out at this angle, but at a 90-degree angle, but that's really hard for most people. Most of us don't have that external hip rotation. Okay. And slowly walk your hands up. Now go ahead and come up onto your right glute and now take the leg out so that it's at that 90. Okay, so you're just looking at that right leg, like I said, that 90-degree angle. Now tuck your back toes and try to spin your left inner thigh more down towards the ground. Okay, now go ahead and come on down. I like to take my left arm and just kind of frame my right foot. And I've got this nice little gentle twist in my spine. And you should feel this a little bit more in your right IT band and your right glute. So this is a safer way to get into just a pigeon variation. Pigeon pose in Sanskrit is Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. Obviously way easier to say pigeon. Let's take one more breath cycle here. And slowly come on up. Okay, bring your left leg forward and your right leg straight in front of you. Okay, now take your left hand and help get the flesh out from under your right glute and sit up nice and tall. Flex your right toes, dorsiflex them back towards your face. Let's inhale, reach high, and exhale, come forward. If you have a rounded spine, you're going to feel this in the spine and in the hamstring. If you stay flat here, you're going to find more stretch in the right hamstring. So just whatever feels good to you. And slowly sit on up. Show this from the side. Okay, we're going to come into half hero, Ardha Virasana. Now, coming just to here might be enough for you. You're going to feel this big time in your left quad, okay? You're also going to feel this in your lumbar spine. You can always put a cushion behind your back. Just come to wherever it feels good to you. Some people like to just stay here on their forearms. Some people can come all the way down. So see what feels good for you. Half hero, Ardha Virasana. Breathe here. One of the best things you can do to stretch out the quads and to feel this nice little spinal action going on here. And it's okay if your left knee is floating a little bit. We're in a static pose. Let's take one more breath cycle. Ideally, you would spend 3 to 5 minutes in any kind of a stretching position. It takes that long for your fascia really to start to release. Okay, and we're just gonna slowly come on up and take the leg out, just kind of shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Okay. And cross the legs and just step on back, come into your down dog again. And inhale, left leg high to sky, bend the knee, open up. And exhale, bring the left knee now to your left wrist. Walk the hands back, find that nice little lifted position. This is where you can kind of see why it's called pigeon. It's like the breast of a bird. Lifting up. And I'm always flexing my front toes because that's like my kickstand to keep me up so I'm not falling off to the side. Because you're going to, generally, most people are going to feel it the most when you're straight over yourself. And let's go ahead and come on down. Breathing here, relaxing down. You're feeling this in your left IT, your left glute. Some of you, if you're really tight in your hip flexors, you can feel this in your right hip flexor. Okay, slowly walk it up. Come up onto your left glute now. Take the leg more out to that 90. Flex the foot. Tuck the back toes. Gently internally rotate that back leg a little bit more. And now go ahead and come on down so that you're going to get more of the left IT and glute stretch. Thanks. Okay, slowly come on up and bring the right knee forward. Left leg comes straight. Take your right hand, help to get that flesh out from under your left buttock. Dorsiflex the left toes back towards the face. Inhale, reach. And exhale, come forward. I like to round my back hip first, just to kind of help get into the stretch since I have really tight hamstrings. And then as I start to open up, I will isolate the hamstring more. Try to just hinge at my hips, and I'll stay flatter in my spine and just reach forward with my heart. Again, like there's that string on the sternum that's pulling you forward. Let's take one more breath cycle here. And slowly come on up. So again, we're going to come into that half hero pose. So you might be staying right here. You might be coming to your forearms. A lot of times I'll hang out for a couple of breath cycles right here, just to give my right quad and my hip flexor a chance to release. And I'll just relax with the long leg. And then if you can come deeper, see what feels good for you. This is a really awesome posture to work with a pillow, like a sofa cushion or your bed pillow underneath you. It's also a really great one to do in bed because, especially if this hurts the top of your foot at all. This hurts a lot of people on the top of their foot. So doing this in bed can feel a lot better. And then also, if it doesn't hurt, right, you're going to be inclined to do it more. So we all need to stretch more. Most of us tend to do too much, really like active things that will contract our muscles and make us tighter. We don't do enough stretching, and it's really important as we age to keep up with the stretching. Okay, slowly come on up and take the legs out in front of you. Shake them on out. Okay, and let's bend the legs. Find that C-curve, slowly roll all the way down. Take the arms long, take the legs long. Reach, reach, reach. Okay, let's take the right leg over the left now and lift up your hips. And take the knees to the left and take your gaze to the right. Anchor your right shoulder down. So we're working to just get this nice little thoracic rotation in the spine. So just some mid-spine rotation. So more important to anchor that right shoulder than it is to crank the knees off to the other side. But I like to take my left hand on the outer edge of my right leg and just kind of give a little bit more weight to my knees. One more breath cycle. And slowly release. Unwind. Let's take the left over the right. Lift it up. Take the knees off to the right. Look off to the left. Anchor your left shoulder down. Take one more breath cycle here. And slowly come on back. Bring your heels a little closer into your glutes. Anchor your hands down by your side. Inhale here. On your exhale, slowly lift your hips up. You can stay right here in your bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. Or you can, if you like to add the shoulder opener, you can interlace your hands underneath you and get a little, and walk the shoulders a little bit more underneath you. Just a little heart opener. We've done some forward folding today, which is calming for your nervous system and activates your parasympathetic nervous system. And doing heart openers will do the exact opposite. It will energize you and activate your sympathetic nervous system. So always trying to find that union and that balance in yoga. Let's take one more breath cycle here. And slowly on your exhale, roll it all the way in. Hug your knees into your heart, rock a little bit from side to side. If there's anything else that you feel like your body needs, listen to your body. But if you're ready for corpse pose, for Shavasana, walk your feet out, walk your legs out, walk your shoulders down away from your ears. Palms are facing up to the ceiling. Breathe here. Close your eyes. Find some rest and relaxation here in your Shavasana. Close your eyes, let yourself go. When you're ready, slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Keep your eyes closed. Roll your wrists, roll your ankles. Inhale, stretch long. Maybe you hook your thumbs together. And on your exhale, hug your knees to your heart. Come off to your right side. Slowly make your way up to a cross-legged position, maybe Sukhasana, just an easy pose, or maybe half lotus, Ardha Padmasana. Sit up tall. Let's inhale, reach our arms high. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Inhale here through your nose. And exhale, side out. And again, inhale. Inhale, take your thumbs to your third eye. Your third eye is your Ajna chakra, just in between the eyebrows. It's your center for wisdom and intuition and imagination and creativity. Just tapping into that. From my great soul to your great soul. Bowing forward, we seal our practice. Namaste.